What's up, everybody? Hello. Happy Wednesday. It's a Wednesday. Hello. So the other night I was falling asleep watching TV, and I saw Alex did this podcast with that Sean Johnson guy. And I'm watching it and I'm half asleep because I can't. Alex is going to talk about some shit that happens when he goes to sleep. I have weird shit that happens to me when I go to sleep too. So I turn the TV on. Otherwise, I can't fall asleep. So I'm listening to this podcast in the background as I'm kind of halfway in and out of sleep. And I start hearing Alex talking about how he has basically psychic powers. And I'm like, am I hearing this right? Am I dreaming? So I kind of wake up and I turn it on. I listen to it and no shit. He's talking about how he has psychic powers. And I've heard him talk about this before. I actually tried to get him to talk about this when I interviewed him, because he'd mentioned how, you know, when he would talk about DMT, how when he goes to sleep, he has like massive amounts of DMT, like naturally, and he has like these crazy experiences in his sleep. And he kind of skirted around it though when I tried to bring it up, but this time he seems ready to talk about it, and it seems legit. Alex Jones has psychic powers, according to him. I don't know, you know, I'm on the fence here. I'm a little bit skeptical, but we'll watch that clip. We got Erika Kirk with the weirdest fucking response of all time. Now, you know me, I'm not somebody who's like, Erika Kirk assassinated Charlie Kirk, she's an evil. I'm not like that. She's weird. She's awkward. And I think she needs like somebody to talk to her to like, because maybe she doesn't understand how she's coming across, because it's very weird. The way she's dressed, the way she talks, it's just so fucking strange, and she's not doing herself any favors. So we'll watch that, and a little updates on the Iran war, an update on the Onion War, InfoWars stuff as well. So we got a fun show, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good. Yeah, Cheetah Main, thank you. Like the stream. It's very much appreciated if you want to thumbs it up. Links are in the description if you want to support the show. We got the Discord. We like hanging out in there. It's a fun time if you want to hang out with our little club, our little pingdom. Well, let's get right to this. This is from Sean Johnson. He's the guy, if I understand correctly, that's responsible for getting Alex to lose all that weight and get into shape. And here's Alex talking about his psychic powers.
Psychic abilities and things have always been there, but they do seem to be intensifying. I mean, I've told these stories before, but for another show, I've had a lot of psychic experiences since I was a child, but they got more intense the last 3-4 years. And I told you the story about I'll get woken up, told to turn my cell phone on. It's always the exact time that I'm told it's going to be.
You have, but tell it again for the audience that hasn't heard.
So I've had that happen. I don't wake up and have some spirit being like, the time is 1:37 p.m. Look, I just wake up and somehow I just seem to know what time it is. I think, and it's gotten better as I've gotten older. I think somehow, like unconsciously, like my internal clock is pretty good, because I'll wake up from a dead sleep and be like, I think it's 4:30, and then it'll be like 4:41 or something. Not exactly. Sometimes I've had it be exact, but yeah, weird.
Well, that's a really heavy subject, but I mean, I've been sitting there, and it's like a tap on the shoulder, and say that Trump will announce he's won at 127. And then I start thinking about, how do I bring this up? Because the other co-host was in the other studio. I was talking to him. It was like 4 hours till Trump announced he'd won. No one knew he was going to win. It looked like, actually she was winning. And I was like, okay, tell him he's going to announce he's won at 127. And I didn't ask, the angel or the watcher or whatever, the information I was getting.
So in his dreams, in his sleep, an angel or a watcher is coming and giving him information. That's kind of fucked up if that's the information you're going to give. Like, oh, here's the exact time Donald Trump's going to announce he won. I get it. He's getting told the day before it happens that Trump is going to win, and the exact time. How about telling us that Trump's going to start the Iran war? How about telling us that Trump's going to be a neocon? Please, give us better predictions that are more important than that. Okay.
Time zone. And then I said to my co-host Owen, I said, Owen, if Trump does win, which I think he's going to win, Guess when he makes the announcement when all the returns come in. He goes, 11 something. And I said, no, 127. Well, it was 127 Central. It was 227 Eastern. He walks on the stage as the atomic clock rolls over, to 127, and he announces he's won by as the seconds count down. And I mean, here's just an example. I've had a lot of dreams that come true. A lot of times it's inconsequential stuff, but then I'm like told, you don't like hear the voice, you just instantly have it. And it's like, well, we're sending you this, when we tap you on the shoulder, you need to listen. You need to relax and get the information. So this was right before Trump got shot and before Butler and stuff, a few months before. I started, this happens all the time, a few times a year. I'll get woken up and told, go in, when I was a kid, go and look at the microwave time downstairs. It's going to be this. And by the time I got up and walked down, it'll be exactly that time.
Almost like they're training you to.
Training me. But then I don't like having my cell phone on, so I usually turn it off, put it in the drawer by me, or I put it, because
Joe Rogan must be so jealous because Joe Rogan actually has to like smoke DMT to get in contact with these, because it sounds like it's the DMT peoples, dude. It's what it sounds like he's talking about. Like he's talking to the DMT realm. I don't know. Look, I'm speculating. But he's talked about it before, how he thinks it's like a massive amount of DMT gets released in his brain while he's sleeping. But if I was Joe, I'd be jealous as fuck because Alex don't even need to smoke DMT. He just needs to go to sleep and he gets the whole experience.
It's got signals even when it's turned off that can mess with your brain. I like to put it, in the bathroom. And so 4 times in 1 week, I get woken up 1 or 2 in the morning or whatever, and I'm told, okay, get up, go turn your cell phone on right now. And it's going to be exactly this time. And it'd just be some random time. And right when it boots up, boom, it'd be that time, even though it's about a minute later. So it's like, it's telling me it's this time, a minute before, whatever. And the last time, it was like exactly 4 a.m., if I remember correctly, and I turn it on, and then it's instant voice. It's not like I have to hear it, talk it out. It's like an instant command. It's like, now count down exactly 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi from 14, just to show you didn't just randomly, right when you hit, the 0 point, it'll change to 401. So that's just an instant thought. So I go 14, 13, 12, and right as I go 0, it goes bloop, and it's like, now go get some coffee and sit in the kitchen and open your mind. So I'm like, all right, this is 4 times in 1 week. So I go sit down. It's like Close Encounters where he keeps getting told to make the mountain. Everybody else is drawing pictures of the mountains. It's like, come to the mountain, come to the mountain. It's like that. It's like compulsion. And so I go sit down, and I'm like, okay. It's like, okay, and I like see this reporter. But the way it always works is it's like, she's like, it's like an image, like it's a blonde-haired reporter. She doesn't know. They're going to sell plastic explosives in her purse. And then she's going to get on Air Force One. It's going to blow the bulkhead out. Go tell people that. I'm like, all right. And also, they're going to say Iranians have snuck in surface-to-air missiles. This is back before he had Air Force One again. He was flying Trump Force One that didn't have anti-missile defense on it. And they're going to shoot down his plane with surface-to-air missiles. You've got to go on the air and warn of that, and tell him don't have any outdoor rallies. And I saw him like in the vision. Outdoors, giving a rally. He shouldn't be doing big outdoor events. So I go on air and I say, okay, folks, I've been having dreams. I simplify it.
I kind of remember this. I remember him talking about Air Force One getting attacked. Like he was worried about that. But it is kind of weird. Like, why are the voices protecting Trump? Did the voices know that Trump was going to be a fucking traitor and become a neocon and start a stupid war? I don't know. Maybe the voices aren't good, Alex. Maybe the voices are bad. That's always a concern. How do you know? How do you know if it's not some demonic entity masquerading as some, good entity trying to mislead you, get you to vote for a guy who ends up being the Antichrist? I don't know. I'm not saying he's the Antichrist, but he's definitely been a disappointment, bro.
And I say, they're going to try to sew explosives into a female reporter's purse. It's like a big black purse. They need to watch for that. And surface-to-air missiles, they're smuggling in surface-to-air missiles to blame it on Iran and try to shoot Trump down. And also he shouldn't do outdoor rallies. And they're going to try to blame when they kill Trump it on Iran. That's why the day Butler happened, I go on there and I say, now they're going to blame the Iranians. They did it 3 days later. Then the CIA hired guys that were Pakistani, thought they were working for Iranians to try to kill Trump. So Trump would say, I'll blow you up, Iran, and if I die, you're going to get blown up. That way Israel can assassinate him and blame it on Iran. I said all this is what I was literally just told. And So you can say angels, God sent, whatever. And I have these other dreams that's beyond bliss. It's beyond ecstasy. It's total completion. There's no time. And it's like you're in a place 1,000 times prettier than the prettiest place in Hawaii. And there's like these presents are there, but you're not allowed to look at them. But kind of that is like they're the watchers in Marvel Comics, and they work for God. And they're like, okay, well, you see this is, basically the higher dimension.
I mean, this is pretty fucking crazy, dude. This is why I had to react to this, because it's just fucking crazy, dude. Look, I'm a skeptic with this shit. I don't have predictions. I used to have a lot of dreams about shit happening that never happened. Like, I would always dream a lot of my father dying, because I had an older father. So even as a kid, I was always afraid like he was going to drop dead of a heart attack, because he was like my only real like solid piece in life that was always there. I can go deeper into that, but that's a long story. But, divorce, adoption, things were a little hectic for me as a kid, as a baby. So, like, I was always really scared of my dad dying. And he never did. He's in his mid-80s now. I mean, he will die, but he didn't drop dead of a heart attack when I was young, which was like my big fear. But I used to always dream about that. But I have had weird shit happen in dreams that are not predictions, but they are like DMT type shit. A lot of people have had that where like you fall asleep, but you're still completely aware and awake in your mind, but yet your body's going into the sleep stages. So you're like seeing the dream world. Like I had it where I was falling asleep in like my whole room. Like I could see my room, but my room wasn't my room. And I looked at my leg, and my leg was like in 3 different places. And then I looked at my TV, and it had like this weird gold writing. It was almost like a fucking like a scroll with like this fancy gold writing on it. And I couldn't make out what even language the writing was in. It looked like hieroglyphics or some shit like that. And so yeah, I've had those weird things, that sometimes happen to some people when they're falling in and out of sleep. I've had it happen a few times, and I kind of lean into it now because it's trippy as fuck. And yeah, my brain also goes crazy when I'm in the stage of falling asleep. Like my mind goes nuts. It won't shut the fuck up. And it's like numbers, I'll just start repeating random numbers. And it's like, I've been doing that since I was a kid. So that's why I turned the TV on, because having like just any kind of dialogue, like a nice documentary in the background will kind of shut that part of my brain down, and I can fall asleep easier. I've never had predictions, so it's hard for me. I'm a bit skeptical, and this sounds fucking crazy, but I'm going to hear him out. Who knows? Maybe he's the next fucking Nostradamus, guys, for all we know.
And this is what you wanted to do, and you wanted to be doing this. And so just know that this eternity's here, but you need to understand that's all part of God's plan. You see all these other civilizations, countless ones that chose their own free will to build their own system outside of God's plan. And it was like all these like gray-looking, almost like acorns, little like acorns, integrated with like an old English or German style stone house. It's like tombstones almost. And then as far as I could see, they were just, and it's like, and you can look into any of those old dead civilizations, but we recommend you don't do it. There's no reason for you to. And I'm like, no, I'm going to. They're like, all right, we thought you would. And just, whoa. And so I was like, the last time I was like, oh my God, I don't want to leave. And it was like, I was there 1,000 years. But it was just, 10 minutes while I was asleep. And so it's stuff like that.
That's incredible, dude.
100% real.
That's crazy. And I can only imagine, like, if I was having these experiences, I would be afraid to tell anybody. They'd think I was fucking crazy. Need some more coffee?
Oh, man, yeah. I couldn't really sleep last night.
Get after it.
I kind of feel the same way, too. Because, people are going to listen to this, and they're going to use this to discredit Alex. They're going to be like, yeah, he's lost his fucking mind.
Disturbance in the force. The last time I felt it was in the presence of my old master.
I think he's telling his truth. Okay, whether it's the truth or there's something else going on where his brain's having some sort of other thing going on and you're attributing it to spiritual stuff when it's just the inner workings of a very complex, mysterious device called our brain. But I believe he has these experiences.
I wish these watchers would give me some message. I need some lottery numbers.
Hell, they haven't been giving me lottery numbers. They've been giving me a lot of trouble.
Help me out.
Well, I also had dreams about 9/11. And people always make a big deal about this. I never had fights with William Cooper.
That's the big prediction everybody gives him credit for. is him predicting 9/11. I actually have the clip of that. We'll get to that after this.
Great talk show host, really smart. He was into UFOs. I really wasn't. But
why weren't you?
I couldn't prove it. So I could prove FEMA camps. I could prove they created Lyme's disease, Plum Island. Nobody would even believe me when I had something I could prove. Yeah. So I could never really hear his show because he was on a weak shortwave channel. But he was later, when they put his stuff on the internet, I got to be a fan after he was dead. Because according to his neighbors, everybody else, he was a Vietnam vet, gunboat captain, big drinker. I'm not putting him down for that. And pretty mean. And he was yelling and shooting at kids that were getting on the edge of his property having parties. So they had a warrant for him, and he shot a sheriff's deputy in the face, and they killed him.
Oh, damn.
But it immediately...
It's a wild story, Bill Cooper.
It immediately became, I killed him. That was just the internet thing. To this day, Jones is the counterfeit that had to come in and take over for Cooper. So he did this or whatever. But Cooper, when he saw CNN interviewing bin Laden a few months before 9/11, was like, they're going to have some terror attack and blame it on bin Laden. This guy's...
Yeah, so yeah, this is what I find when I look it up. If you guys don't know Bill Cooper was like, he did Alex Jones style content, conspiracy theorist. And Bill Cooper, the American conspiracy theorist and author of Behold a Pale Horse, was shot and killed by Apache County Sheriff's deputies on November 5th, 2001. Deputies were attempting to arrest Cooper on charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and endangerment stemming from disputes with local residents. The shootout, according to reports, Cooper fired at deputies, shooting one in the head during an exchange of gunfire while trying to evade arrest. It's a wild story, bro.
Really CIA,
pretty fucking
which
wild.
He had been. That was all true. But I hadn't even heard his reporting on that because I couldn't get his show then. It wasn't on the internet. And I tried to listen to it on shortwave, and because I was into shortwave radio, I was on like 100,000 water, WWCR, so mine came in crystal clear. But then when my prediction of 9/11 came out, which was actually before his, everybody got really upset and said, you got to blame Cooper. Well, he just said they're going to blame something on bin Laden. They can find him in this cave. He's clearly working with them. They're getting ready to set up the Muslims, which I totally agreed with because I was into false flag stuff too. But
yeah, it says Bill Cooper was featured on Coast to Coast. Coast to Coast was what was it? Art something? I never listened to Coast to Coast, but I know a lot of people are huge fans of that show. What was it? Art something or another that ran that show?
I specifically in March, not just the July stuff, said they'll fly planes in the World Trade Center, blame it on him.
Art
on
Bell,
bin Laden as a pretext for all these domestic controls and invading the Middle East and Central Asia. But
why did you think the World Trade Center towers?
If you've had the vaccine, particularly if it's Pfizer or Moderna.
That's a good timed ad break right there. Right, we're going to talk about the 9/11 stuff. We'll play it. You know what? We'll get past this ad break, and then let's jump. Here's the clip of Alex from July of 2001 predicting 9/11.
Again, I was on television saying that bin Laden's a CIA asset and looks like he'll attack New York. Saying, call Washington, tell them to call off the attack. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so glad that you could join us today for this Wednesday, July 25th, 2001 broadcast. Tyranny is enveloping the globe.
Bro, he's so young in this clip, but yet he already looks old. Like, if you told me he was in his 40s, I'd believe it.
And the United States is a shining jewel the globalists want to bring down, and they will use terrorism.
His son's got that too, Rex. Rex is like young, and he already looks like he's an old man.
As the pretext to get it done. So that's coming up in the second half of the show. Very important information. I'm going to put the call out that you call the White House and tell them, look, we've seen the news stories that you've wanted to blow things up, that you have blown things up, and that you're saying that 4 million of us are going to die and we need martial law and the Associated Press at one of your little drills you had, and that we're aware of who the terrorists are if you pull this. This can stop this Hitlerian Reichstag event. I want to put the toll-free number up for Congress. And I won't want you to believe Alex Jones. I want you to go get these news stories off my website. I want you to call these major newspapers. I want you to find out these statements were true by the White House about preparing for martial law. And I want you to let them know that if there is any terrorism, we know who to blame. The point is, if any terrorism comes, it's from this government. And if there was an outside threat like a bin Laden, who was a known CIA asset in the 80s, running the Mujahideen war.
So he predicts bin Laden, which, you know, bin Laden was on a lot of people's radars, so.
And whose family builds all the military bases over in Saudi Arabia right now and sits on the board of Iridium Satellite. He's the boogeyman they need in this Orwellian phony system. I want the White House numbers up there now. A big part of this solution, after you research all the government terrorism and check out what I'm saying is true, call the White House and tell them, we know the government's planning terrorism. We know Oklahoma City and World Trade Center was terrorism. We know the Joint Chiefs of Staff wanted to blow up airliners, Baltimore Sun. If you do it, we're going to blame you because we know who's up to it. Or if you let some terrorist group do it, like the World Trade Center, we know who to blame. And you could save the planet. I'm calling it Operation Expose the Government Terrorist.
Yeah, there's supposed to be, according to Alex, there's a lot more clips of him talking about it that did not survive. But that prediction is not really... He's basically... I mean, because look, a lot of people forget the World Trade Center had been a victim of a terrorist attack before 9/11. Somebody tried to blow up the Trade Center from the basement, I believe, or something like that. So terrorism was a thing in the zeitgeist, you know, people thought about, because it was happening even before 9/11. So people knew the Trade Center was a target. So, I mean, I guess you could call it a prediction, but it's kind of just stating facts that everybody kind of already knew and was worried about. And when he's talking about the Trade Center, it's almost like he's referring to it in the past tense when the Trade Center was already bombed in the past. So like, if you bomb it again, we'll know it's a false flag like last time. So I don't know if there's more clips or whatever, but this one kind of falls flat as a 9/11 prediction, because it's not out of the realm of possibility in that time frame to be like, yeah, they could attack the World Trade Center again. They already have. So, but yeah, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here. You guys know I love Alex, but I'm going to speak my mind. And to me, that kind of falls flat as a prediction. It's more of just an accurate assessment of what everybody was thinking that wasn't a normie back then, that kind of didn't trust the government. But yeah, that's one of the surviving clips of him talking about it before 9/11. And we'll get back to it.
Because a few years before, in 1992, the feds had cooked a real truck bomb and bombed it.
Okay.
And I'd interviewed Ahmad Salam, the informant, who, when they said build a real bomb, he knew they were setting him up. He recorded it. And he released it. That's how they couldn't get him. He worked for the CIA. But the reason I tell that story is you said I'd be afraid to tell people. So even when Tucker Carlson asked me, how'd you know? I didn't want to get into this even a year ago. When he was 2 years ago, he was asking me that. The last little ingredients for me to get even more specific was in March, April, May, June, July. I mean, I did dozens of shows on this, but a lot of that stuff wasn't archived, so we only had me in June. I mean, we had me in March, and Cooper's a few months later. So for everybody out there, and I haven't made a big deal about this, but I said it first. I said it more specifically. I said fly planes in the World Trade Center.
Well, that clip, he didn't say anything about planes flying into the Trade Center. It sounded that, again, that was one clip. I'm sure there's other clips I'm not able to find where Alex is saying that, so I believe Alex said it. But yeah, I didn't see that in that clip. It seemed like basically a reference, like, if you do it again, which they had already done. They already tried to blow up the Trade Center. What year was it they did that? 87? What was the first Trade Center bombing? There might have been multiple ones. Sorry, I want to look this up. 1993. The first World Trade Center bombing occurred on February 26, 1993. The attack, a rental van filled with approximately 1,200 pounds of explosive, detonated in the underground parking garage beneath the North Tower. The blast killed 6 people and injured more than 1,000. The explosion created a crater several stories deep and caused massive damage below ground. Mastermind, Ramzi Youssef. Several men were convicted in the following years for their roles. Yeah, so okay, so that was so when he's talking about it happening again, like he's talking about the Oklahoma City bombing, like if you do something like that, or the World Trade Center bomb, you do something like that, we know who's really the blame. In his mind, it's the government, not the actual terrorists, because it's a false flag, I think is what he's saying. But I wish we had all the clips. So because if he does have it where he's saying they're gonna fly a damn plane into the World Trade Center, now that's a pretty fucking okay. Because nobody really thought that was out of the thinking. Nobody was thinking they're gonna hijack a plane and fly it, and everybody just assumed they were gonna take some bombs and blow some shit up with some bombs like they did previously. So if he actually predicted that they would fly a plane into the World Trade Center, now that is pretty remarkable.
I said CIA invade the countries. Mine was 100. I said call the White House, tell them don't blow up the World Trade Center. Okay, so and put the White House number up. So if you want to measure dicks here, but it wasn't me. I was having recurring dreams of the smoking, burning buildings and of the planes flying in. But I didn't want to go on air and tell everybody that. Plus, I started paying attention to Bin Laden's going to get you. Bin Laden's all over TV. There's going to be terror. We got to take your rights when it happens. So I got to see them pre-programming it, and I'm having dreams. But then I didn't learn because I wasn't a big TV guy.
Bro, we need to hook Alex up. We need to do like the Minority Report or whatever it was with Tom Cruise. We need to hook him up into some shit and get him into a dream state 24/7 and just have him predict the future because we need this. We need to know if you're can really do this. Then we got to figure out some sort of contraption to put you in a permanent fucking dream state, so we can predict the damn future, Alex, and take over. We'll run the world at that point if we can predict the fucking future. CIA needs to kidnap Alex Jones and fucking use him. Start doing experiments on him.
And back then, everything wasn't on the internet, so I didn't watch X-Files and I didn't watch the Lone Gunman spinoff. Okay, I'd seen him a few times, but I wasn't a TV guy. I was doing my own thing, editing videos and reading newspapers and magazines and booking guests. And, sometimes I'd watch the weather report or something, or local news for the elections. So Chris Carter later contacted me and other folks from the X-Files. And the stuff they came out with in 2016, that reboot, he said publicly was based on me. And stuff I talk about where the government hits you with a bioweapon, all the rest of the stuff. But reason it's a long, meandering story is it's just you have to explain the way my brain sees it from memory because there's so much. But and Chris Carter's been in the newspaper, talked about all this. But first, I got approached by one of the hosts of the X-Files who literally said, "I'm in town, I'm going to come meet with you." And here comes the guy from the X-Files. And he said, "Do you understand Chris Carter got approached by the CIA in 2000 at a party?" Because Chris had told him this. Chris later confirmed this to me and also in the news. And they said every once in a while they'd want him to have an idea for a show. And they said, well, we're a criminal element of the government, hijacks and flies a jumbo jet in the World Trade Center as a pretext to basically launch tyranny domestically and launch an invasion in the Middle East and Afghanistan. So I didn't know in March, when I'm saying this because of these dreams, that in April of 2001, they air the Lone Gunman 9/11 episode, which you can pull up online. I own on DVD. And that was the plot of it. And they hacked the jet by remote control, but tell them it's Muslims, which we now know really happened with all the aircraft. It wasn't hijackers. It was gas and then remote.
So am I understanding, is Alex saying that he actually gave them the idea for that episode? Because he met with one of the makers of the show? Let me listen to this again.
And they said, well, we're a criminal element of the government. Carter got approached. And Chris Carter's been in the newspaper, talked about all this. But first I got approached by one of the hosts of the X-Files who literally said, I'm in town, I'm going to come meet with you. And here comes the guy from the X-Files. And he said, do you understand Chris Carter got approached by the CIA in 2000 at a party? Because Chris had told him this. Chris later confirmed this to me and also in the news. And they said every once in a while they'd want him to have an idea for a show. And they said, well, we're a criminal element of the government, hijacks and flies a jumbo jet in the World Trade Center as a pretext to basically launch tyranny domestically and...
Oh, no. So it sounds like the CIA gave them the idea.
Launch an invasion in the Middle East and Afghanistan. So I didn't know in March, when I'm saying this because of these dreams, that in April of 2001, they air the Lone Gunman 9/11 episode, which you can pull up online. I own on DVD. And that was the plot of it. And they hacked the jet by remote control, but tell them it's Muslims, which we now know really happened with all the aircraft. It wasn't hijackers. It was gas and then remote control.
Let's watch it, dude. I think I've seen this before, but yeah, I think we can watch it. It's never got made into a show. This was the X-Files spin-off show. The Lone Gunman. There's a trailer for it.
Yeah, I wound up in some government think tank's upload directory. Here's your scenarios, ladies. These look like counterterrorism scenarios, war games developed for the Defense Department.
What's scenario 12D?
Airline terrorism? That doesn't make sense. Your father was murdered over a war game?
Download it. Uh-oh. Ixnay on the download day. What is it? Bogey. We've been spotted.
Remember Pig Latin? I forgot all about Pig Latin. It used to be popular. We talking Pig Latin. I don't even know if I remember how to do it.
Sir, we've got an intruder. I'm tracing.
They're running some real-time...
What the hell are you doing? Why can't you stay out of this? Leave me buried.
What is scenario 12D? We know it's a war game scenario, that it has to do with airline counterterrorism. Why is that important enough to kill for?
Because it's no longer a game.
But if some terrorist group wants to act out this scenario, why target you for assassination?
Depends on who your terrorists are.
The men who conceived of it in the first place. You're saying our government plans to commit a terrorist act against a domestic airline?
There you go. Indicting the entire government as usual. It's a faction. A small faction.
For what possible gain?
The Cold War's over, John. But with no clear enemy to stockpile against, the arms market's flat. But bring down a fully loaded 727 into the middle of New York City, and you'll find a dozen tin-pot dictators all over the world just clamoring to take responsibility and begging to be smart-bombed.
I can't believe it. This is about...
This is a little too nail on the head, ain't it? And then this comes out in 2001 before 9/11. And the whole plot is a false flag, a 9/11 false flag. I don't think I've seen this clip before.
Increasing arms sales.
Mm-hmm.
When?
Tonight?
How are you going to stop them? Why didn't you tell the world this? Go to the press.
You think I'd still be drawing breath 30 minutes after I made that call? The press? Who's going to run this story?
What's your problem?
Alex Jones will.
I hacked into the flight control system output.
With a little bit of help.
It's what the brains of the plane is telling the little black box.
Course, heading, attitude, hold, yaw, axis, stabilization. What the heck's that?
Is that what it looks like?
I think it is what it looks like.
What does what look like?
Modem protocols. Remote access. Somebody on the ground's flying your plane.
Bogey, sir.
Keep your course. We need to know our flight plan.
I'm mapping the data now.
Myers, your flight's going to make an unscheduled stop in exactly 22 minutes.
The corner of Liberty and Washington. Lower Manhattan.
World Trade Center.
I mean, that's pretty fucking crazy, right? I believe this pilot, I don't think the show ended up airing, but this pilot did air. The pilot episode of the X-Files spin-off The Lone Gunman is frequently cited for its startling similarity to the September 11th terrorist attacks. The episode aired on March 4th, 2001. In the pilot, three main characters uncover a conspiracy within a rogue faction of the U.S. government. The specific plot points that mirror 9/11 include: target, a commercial airliner is remotely hijacked with the intent to crash it into the World Trade Center in New York City. Motive, the villains orchestrate the event as a false flag attack to blame foreign terrorists. Their goal is to provoke a war on terror to increase weapon sales and defense spending. Wow. That's a little too on the fucking nose, ain't it? That's crazy, dude.
Few stewardesses that got calls out on the airphone said there's gas, we can't breathe. It wasn't hijacking. Flight 93 was shot down because the general didn't follow orders and ordered 2 sidewinders fired into it by an F-16 pilot who was rewarded for it. That's why the plane was over 6 miles of debris, engine 6 miles away, blown up. So the point is that Chris Carter is already producing a year before, and writing and then putting out a thing that comes out 6 months or so before 9/11 that has basically the exact plot of it. So here I am having dreams, but because Chase Geiser was the guy to check this with all the AI. He's so good at searching things. And then Chase did a report on it. I never even aired it because it's like, I don't think about it unless I get asked a question. I should air it. I think he posted it somewhere where it's the audio of my show saying they're going to fly things to the World Trade Center. They're going to do all this in March. Then we checked the date of when that episode came out. It's April. But
Let's see if I can find that.
I didn't know about all this stuff until years later. I didn't even know about the lone gunman until about 2 years after 9/11. Somebody mails me a VHS taped of it off the air with a letter. So I pop this in the VHS machine, see it, freaks me out. I'm playing the clips on the radio, playing them on a local TV show. People didn't even think it blew them away so huge. And so it was, the CIA wanted this out for whatever reason, or an element of it, through Chris Carter. I'm already having dreams about it beforehand, very specific. Bill Cooper can see what's going on. It says they're about to do something big. How do they find him in a cave? Blah, blah, blah. He's been CIA in the Mujahideen before that. And then all that unfolds. So there's really the story there, but the final...
Dude, X's search sucks, bro. Like, I literally search Chase Geiser, Alex Jones, 9/11, and it pulls up everything else but that. Like, if there's I'm sure there is a post there from Chase Geiser where he pulls those things up. But, yeah, finding it on X is going to be fucking an hour long of scrolling all the way back through Chase Geiser's timeline for years.
Yefer-67
What's up,
super
Hefe?
chatted $10. This is why I love you, Ping. Fact checking like a motherfucker.
No, I'm trying, bro. Thank you, Hefe. I'm trying.
This is all coming out, so
it's
who
hard.
cares? I should have...
It used to be, dude, believe it or not, like, it used to be easier 20 years ago to search and find things out. The search engines are such fucking garbage now, bro.
I told Tucker the last few times he asked me. I'm like, well, I figured out all the pieces.
Thank you, Hefe.
And that was true. But then I told...
By the way, guys, yeah, links are in the description. You want to support the show, it's much appreciated. If you want to become a member, it's very cheap. Also help support the show. Thank you, guys. And thumbs up if you can. Let's go.
The Chris Carter thing, he was blown away. He didn't know about that. He was totally blown away by that.
Got the Erika Kirk stuff next.
But my point is, it was out in the collective unconsciousness or something. So
almost like a warning from these watchers.
Yeah, or you can say, like, Forbidden Planet, that George Lucas says kind of spurred him to want to make science fiction movies. Came out in like the 50s with the actor that does the lone gunman, or Naked Gun, I forget his name. But
Leslie Nielsen?
They go to this planet that had an outpost on it, and all the humans are dead, but one scientist and his daughter.
Right? Leslie.
Yeah. And you can pull up the trailer for Forbidden Planet. But these aliens had figured out a way to get outside their bodies and basically live forever.
Well, damn, Central Washington. Thank you again, brother, with the 10 gifts. Thank you, bro. I was hoping to get somebody else other than Central Washington because he gives so much, but I'll take what I can get. Thank you, Central Washington, for the 10 gifted. Thank you, brother. Welcome, everybody. Please say thank you to Central Washington.
They plug themselves into a giant machine.
He's a base Chad. I've confirmed this. He is legit a base Chad, so say thank you. Thank you, bro.
That could manifest anything they wanted instantly.
What is it? Forbidden what?
Forbidden Planet. The problem was they didn't still think about the subconscious and the unconscious. And so they got all torn apart by these powerful, giant demon creatures, but really it was their own collective unconsciousness destroying them. So you could say, is that the collective unconsciousness of humans that's doing both good and bad? And we now know that AI is drawing off of that cybernetic interface and creating a synthetic group conscious, unconscious, and subconscious group collective. And that was my own theory years ago. Now it's being accepted by top AI engineers and futurists. Go ahead. You want to play it?
Now I'm lost. I'm lost. We have a group conscious. Okay, that is possible. I could see that being a reality, you know? Like some sort of unconscious level. We're all connected and influencing each other, you know?
See how it even looks like Star Wars?
Yeah.
And yeah, Liam Neeson was the GOAT. I love Liam Neeson. I love Naked Gun as a kid. I loved O.J. Simpson as a kid, and then he murdered his wife, and I was like, didn't want to believe it because I liked Naked Gun so much. Yeah, I love Naked Gun, especially the first one. The first one is so fucking good.
Man prepares to take his first step outward into space. Tomorrow he will explore the stars. MGM's great technical staff brings you a magnificent picture.
Really, Doge says I'm like 41, but I feel much older. I'm feeling my age, but I still feel fucking young, bro. I don't feel. It's crazy when I think about that I'm in my 40s because I just don't feel like I'm in my 40s. In my head, I'm still fucking in my 20s.
Of that distant tomorrow.
My brain won't accept it.
Lucas says this is the main influence on Star Wars.
Forbidden Planet.
Imagine yourself as one of the crew of this faster-than-light spaceship of the future, sharing their curiosity to
I'm
know
sure this
the
is free on
unknown,
YouTube.
their tension, their readiness for inconceivable adventures.
Sir, we're being radar scanned. United Planets Cruiser C-57D, J.J. Adams commanding. Who are you?
This is the kind of shit my dad watches all day because he's old and he likes these old silly sci-fi films. There's so many of them they made in the 50s, man. Just like cheesy ass sci-fi films.
Morbius of the Bellerophon.
Oh, Dr. Morbius, my orders are to survey the situation on Altair 4.
Commander, if you set down on this planet, I warn you that I cannot be answerable for the safety of your ship or your crew.
When you reach the Forbidden Planet, you will meet Dr. Morbius, played by Walter Pidgeon. The Doctor is sole owner of this fabulous world. Anne Francis is his alluring daughter, Alta, who has never seen a young man. till she
Skinny
meets
dipping.
Commander Adams, played by talented Leslie Nielsen.
Come on in.
Didn't bring my bathing suit.
What's a bathing suit?
Oh, murder.
You will meet a
These films are wild, bro. Yeah. Like, oh, what's every man's fantasy? A woman who's just like starving for men, who's never had a man before and doesn't know what clothes are.
charming character in The Robot, able to produce...
Yeah, Doge. Drinking doesn't help, bro. People like to talk so much shit about weed. And they don't ever mention how terrible fucking alcohol is for you. Like, you're poisoning your body every day. Go easy, man. If you drink, don't do it every day. It's got to be like, on the weekends or something like that, man. You got to give your body a chance to recover.
On order, 10 tons of lead.
Especially if you're drinking beer. People don't realize, like, I think it is worse to drink beer because your body's having to work with so much fluid. You're like just pumping all this fluid in to get the same result as like a shot. So if you do, just take a couple shots, dude. Make it easier on your body.
Or a slinky evening gown. Always
I don't know if that's scientifically true or not, but it seems that way.
at your service.
But how you doing, Doge? I hope you're doing good, buddy.
Thing you've ever made for me, and fit in all the right places, with lots and lots of star sapphires.
Star sapphires take a week to crystallize properly. Would diamond or emerald...
They just don't make women the same anymore, do they? Yeah, I think we're done with this one because I don't know where we're going. But yeah, you can watch the rest of the Sean Johnson podcast. I thought I was subscribed to subscribe. Thumbs it up. Just thumbs it up. Thumbs it up. Yeah, we saw this already. That's the only one I could find of his old prediction. Here's an update. Apparently, the judges are shutting down this the Onion takeover. And I'm seeing people already responding like, oh, it was all bullshit. How is it all bullshit if the Onion's the one saying they're going to take over InfoWars and claiming they're going to take over InfoWars? So you're saying the Onion and Alex Jones behind the scenes came up with this elaborate fucking hoax? Like, no, clearly they're trying to take over, but the Texas courts that they're now having to deal with are not playing ball the same way the other fucking judges were. But good news. Sounds like for the moment,
Dojadala 41 super
they're going to
chatted
shut this shit
$20.
down.
I'm doing all right. Sorry for not visiting in a while.
Oh, it's all right, Dosh. It happens. If I don't do shows for a while, I'll get kicked out of people's algorithm. Even if I do shows, I still get kicked out of people's algorithm. But yeah, no, it's just good to see you again, bro. Thank you for the 20. I really appreciate it, dude. And yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. But yeah, the Onion's second fraudulent attempted hijacking of InfoWars just got blocked by the Texas Third Court of Appeals. I've been predicting this shit forever. Like, this shit will get overturned eventually because it's just I'm not a lawyer. Listen to Viva Fry talk about it, but there's just no way this shit holds up. This is just a travesty of justice.
I'm shooting this breaking report at about 7:20.
And he's driving and filming again. Gosh darn it, Alex. I know a lot of Alex Jones fans get mad when I give him a hard time, but I'm looking out for his fucking safety. I want the man to live. And this is not safe, dude, when you're holding the phone fucking driving while you're fucking... Come on, Alex. You're smarter than that.
Central Time in Texas. I'm going back into the office, shoot a detailed report with all the documents and court documents. I told everybody this week, I said, this Onion's second attempt to take over InfoWars is completely unlawful, cut and dry. And I said, even the Democrat...
Leroy, what's up, buddy?
At Leroy.45 long super chatted $5. United States, United States, United States.
God bless the United States. Let's just say the national anthem. Can I even, dude, you know how long it's been since, no, let's pledge allegiance. How long is it? I don't even know. I pledge an allegiance. I pledge the allegiance. Dude, it's been so long since I've been in school. I pledge the allegiance to the United States flag. I can't remember the fucking Pledge of Allegiance, dude. I can't believe I forgot that. Like, I remember all my prayers as a kid, you know? Our Father who art in heaven. I can remember all the prayers. For some reason, I can't remember I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to which it stands, one nation, undivided, under God, with liberty and justice for all. Is that it? It finally came back to me. Okay. Almost forgot the Pledge of Allegiance, dude.
Is going to injunct it and block it. They got it 2 days ago.
At Jet4804 super chatted $1.99, flushed.
Flushed? What are we flushing, Jet? Thank you for the $2.
They
what are we
did an
flushing?
Emergency hearing today, and then just about an hour ago.
Or is it flush? Is that the face you're making? Because I couldn't remember the Pledge of Allegiance.
They put out their ruling.
Dude, I'm in my 40s. It's been 20 plus years since I've recited the Pledge of Allegiance.
And they've ordered the judge.
At Leroy.45 long super chatted $5. United States, United States, United States.
Thank you, Leroy. I don't know if you're doing that on purpose, Leroy, but you're sending them twice, which is fine with me because I'll take 2 super chats of $5, but I don't know if you're doing that on purpose, brother.
By HBO, where she already found me guilty, and 2 weeks after the jury had their verdict, when they were told to make me guilty, she added civil liabilities on.
Doge with another gifted 5. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Doge. Everybody say thank you to Doge.
I mean, you can't make this up. It's so cut and dry. They either overturn the Texas Constitution.
Welcome the 15 new members today. Thank you, guys. Welcome, everybody.
100%.
Thank you, Doge.
They overturn it. And they haven't even got to the Republican Supreme Court yet. And so they got so many issues and so many things and whistleblowers we've got, stuff we haven't even brought out yet. We got like a whole royal flush of cars we haven't even played yet. And these crazies said a year and a half ago they took over the company and said they had an auction, which they didn't have, and the federal judge said it looked like fraud. He killed it. And then they announced a few weeks ago they owned it, and they're in the building, and they're InfoWars and selling our merchandise. None of that's even true other than them selling the merchandise, but it's not on our site. So this is a giant defeat for them, and a lot more is coming. So thanks for all your support. Like I said, I'm about to pull back into the office, and I'm going to shoot a detailed report with all the court documents and the rest of it. But thanks for all your prayers, your support. Be sure to follow me right here on Extra Real Alex Jones on Rumble, the Alex Jones Show.
I'll be honest, I'm happy, okay, because I think this is an injustice. But there is a part of me that's a little sad because I wanted to see how this played out. I wanted to see it actually happen, and then they go to war, and like it would have been so fucking entertaining, honestly. But yeah, I'm not gonna. This is a good thing. This is good. Damn, it's a membership fucking marathon today, boys. Thank you. Another 10 gifted from El Jefe, the man, the big mod up in the chat, holding things down. Welcome to, again, another 10 members. You guys, please say thank you to El Jefe. Thank you, El Jefe. I'm going to mute him just so everybody doesn't get annoyed. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy they shut it down, but I think there is a loss of entertainment here. Because I like to see Alex Jones go to war. Let's get to Erika Kirk. And my God, right away, the first still frame of this really just points to what my issue is. Like, who told her this was what you should wear? Who's advising her on her wardrobe? Like, you shouldn't need advising. It should just be common sense. not to dress like a villain from some James Bond film? It's like, yeah, I'm going to address all the people who think I murdered my husband by dressing like somebody who would probably murder their husband. I mean, and she also looks like she's in some like Michael Jackson, like futuristic music video or something. And she could actually like pull it off. Like, imagine, dude, if she's wearing like a sundress with like some flower print on there, and you know she's smiling and her hair's let loose, and she's just like fully feminizing, like she's dressing like she's wants to be Hillary Clinton or something, like some futuristic badass woman from the future. It's like some shitty sci-fi movie where she's like a soldier or some shit in some futuristic army. And then beyond how she looks, like the way she talks, again, I don't think she had anything to do. I'm sorry to disappoint you guys. I know people were calling me I mean, it's funny because people were saying I'm insane for not believing the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting was staged. Like, Pintrip is insane. He doesn't. It's like, dude, is that where we've got now? If I don't buy the conspiracies, I'm the fucking insane person. Crazy. Because at the end of the day, you don't know if it was staged. You have a fucking hunch. You just don't believe anything. Your hunch is that it's staged. And so you have a hunch that it's staged. And because I'm not willing to be like, oh yeah, it's definitely staged, because what the fuck? I like to have evidence and know what something is before I say something is something. Then I'm the insane person. Shit's getting weird these days, guys. It really is. But let's listen to this.
It seems to me that nothing.
And thank you guys. Thank you for the gifted memberships, El Jefe. You rock, brother. Thank you, everybody,
be enough for the evil
for
in
the
this
support.
world.
Thank you so much.
Our country has become unrecognizable. These people have perverted the truth to the point that they motivated the murder of my husband. They have continuously tried to assassinate the president, and anyone who stands in their way is labeled hateful, racist, fascist, and every other trigger word that is grossly dishonest. We want the best for our country. They don't. This is why Charlie started Turning Point USA in the first place. He didn't trust the radicalized liberal teachers. And this past Saturday, it was a school teacher, of all people, a school teacher, that attempted to change our history for the worst with bullets. And everyone is asking why I even went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
If you ask me, that guy was another kind of not retarded, obviously very intelligent, but socially lacking, neurodivergent, maybe autistic, whatever, like the kind of like functioning autists that are really smart, but lack kind of like emotional and social awareness. And it seems like those are the type of people that can be taken advantage of by the leftist craziness. And he's just, to me, just another guy that maybe if he ran in another circle, it wasn't surrounded by crazy leftists, who knows? Maybe he wouldn't do some shit like this.
And it was because many of the journalists in that room have attempted to dehumanize me, and I wanted to meet some of them face to face, quite frankly. Why have a conversation about me when you can have a conversation with me?
I just can't get over what she's wearing. Who the fuck told her that this was a good look? Did she show up for this? And then the people at TPUSA go, oh, wow, what a wonderful outfit. Somebody didn't go, look, you look like a retard and your shit's all fucking fucked up, okay? Get rid of the hat. The hat looks stupid. Get rid of the black t-shirt with the black, like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to look like a villain from a cheesy sci-fi film? And then her delivery is all like, the way she talks, I get it. Like, it's so fakey. It's so rehearsed. It just doesn't come across natural. And I don't know if she's someone who's like really meant to be in a public speaking position, because she's one of the talents is like, actually, you should be able to talk naturally to the public and not come across like everything is some weird rehearsed bullshit. I don't know. I think making her the CEO was a mistake. I think it's part of what's given her so much grief, and she should just step down. And she can have a role. She can make money off TPUSA, but she doesn't need to be the face of it, because to me it's not working out.
Long super chatted $2. Hit the FOOKING like button, people.
You tell him, Leroy. Hit the fucking like button, buddy. Yeah, please.
So, for example, A journalist from the Daily Mail came up to me. She introduced herself.
Dude, somebody said Ye is dressing like her. You're right. She looks like Ye fucking dressed her. I didn't even think about
41
that.
super chatted $10. Didn't she skip a TPUSA because of a threat and now she wants to speak face to face?
Yeah, and that was weird too. Thank you for the 10, Doge. That was weird too because that was the one where JD Vance showed up and gave a speech and he didn't skip out because of a threat and he's the vice president of the United fucking States, but she skipped out because of a threat. That was a little strange. Little strange. There might be more going on behind the scenes there where maybe she's having, PTSD or something that's keeping her from doing it and they just came up with an excuse. I don't know, but that didn't make any sense. Thank you, Doge.
She was very gracious. She was saying, "You look so beautiful. I'm so sorry for your loss." To which I replied, "It is so nice to put a name to the face, especially with all of the slander, the lies, accusations that are out there surrounding my husband's murder and myself." And I said to her, "You know what's so interesting? This is my first time at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And I find it so fascinating, the dynamic that is going on right now, because everyone is all dressed up and you guys are co-mingling in and out of each other's cocktail parties. And so for one night, you are able to put aside all of your differences for the sake of freedom of speech. And then by Monday morning, things will go back to being an absolute bloodbath between all of you." To which she replied, literally, she said, "I know. Isn't it special, right?"
This is the world we're in, Erika. This is what the people want, okay? The people are bored. They want drama. They want infighting. They want shit talking. They don't want pieces about, Erika Kirk is such a wonderful woman. It's just, no, they want salacious shit like, "Oh, did you see what Erika Kirk did? Did you see what she said? Oh, look, she's acting weird. She's strange. It's suspicious." But that's what people want. And they're giving the people what they want, unfortunately. Because, what are you going to do? You won't have a career if you don't give the people what they want.
Isn't tonight so special? And following that conversation, it was time to take our seats, and we went into the big ballroom where the dinner was. And one of the first things I noticed when I walked into that room was quite literally the proximity of the opposing outlets to one another. So you have one table here that's Politico, and another table here that's Fox, and another table here that's WAPO, and you're all crammed together, elbow to elbow. And to make the night even more of a spectacle, every single 10-person table had 10 bottles of wine. And the president of the White House Correspondents Association, she did a great job of trying to make the evening have that feeling of Americana. We were in a room celebrating freedom of speech despite our differences. And the U.S. Marine Band performed the national anthem so beautifully. And then shortly thereafter, gunshots rang out and total chaos ensued. And you guys have all seen what happened next because there are 1,000 videos of it. So let's discuss that fact for a second. If you were in that room, you had no way of knowing what the status of the shooter was, how many there were, or honestly, really anything. It was just utter chaos. And so during...
I have one piece of advice. By the way, so people are trying to claim, I don't know if it's true or not, but she did show up to this event. Shining bright tonight. So wonderful to have the incredible Miss Erika Kirk and Lawrence B. Jones 3 this evening. Heart. Fox News VIP cocktail party. Look, how long should you wait after your husband's dead before you start dating again? I don't know. It depends. Some people are very lonely by themselves and they have mental issues being alone. Maybe she's one of those types. But here's my suggestion. Look, I think you can get out of this, Erika. You can get out from under all this hatred if you were just a little bit hotter. You're not hot enough. I think you can get there. Get on the keto diet. Get on the pork chop diet. Lose just about 20 pounds. Get tight. Start, dressing classy but sexy. And if you're hot enough, a lot of these dudes, they'll forget about everything they hated about you. I think that might be her problem. She's not hot enough. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But yeah, people are claiming she's got a new boyfriend. I don't know if that's true. But she did go to some sort of VIP event. What was this? Fox News VIP cocktail party. White House Correspondents' Dinner. Oh, she went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner with this dude? You go from Charlie Kirk to Big Black Chad with that big. I don't know. I mean, it could be, nothing could be going on here, guys. Who knows?
During an active shooting, these journalists are using their phones to find moments to capture for clips. They were so concerned about getting a video in a room.
That's just the reality. Call me Sim Trimp all you want. I mean, I'm not going, I'm criticizing her now, but you know, she's a public figure. She's a CEO. I'm not going as far to me, which is a little uncalled for, which is saying she's responsible for the death of her husband. I'm not doing that. But that's the reality, dude. If you're good looking, I mean, listen to Clavicular. He knows what he's talking about. That's, it's unfortunately true with society. If you're really fucking hot, people will kind of start to like you. So let's get hotter. Okay.
With an active
stop dressing
shooter
like that.
That they could have accidentally and quite literally filmed themselves being shot. Many of those people have become
great, and people would have loved it. People would have been, thank God he filmed himself being shot so we can see what happened. It's the world we're in, Erika.
Become so desensitized that fight or flight became secondary to the opportunity of putting themselves into the story, which ironically breaks the #1 rule of journalism. And again, ironically enough, the shooter was a teacher. You have these people who are supposed to be teaching our children the future of this country, and he's so unhinged that he is able to teach children by day and then attempt to murder the president of the United States by night.
You're right. She is dressed like a black bloc militant. She's dressed like Antifa black bloc, dude. Or maybe she got a black boyfriend and she's just like...
At Dojadala41 super chatted $5. I'm not a dumb individual and I see that she is faking her mourning. I think she never cared about Charlie. She is living the dream right now.
I mean, I'm not going to say that's 100% the case, but it is possible. There's a lot of relationships like that, especially when you have a wealthy, rich guy. Say what you want about Charlie. Seemed like a good human being, smart guy, not a very attractive guy. And a lot of women will hook up with a guy that's rich and famous who they're not very attracted to because there's a lot to gain from that. It's a stepping stone. So it's not out of the realm of possibility, and yeah, everything with her seems performance. It seems rehearsed and performed, and it's not doing her any favors. And I don't even know if she can help it. That just might be the way she acts. And if that's the case, then if she can't overcome it and find a way to come across naturally, then she really shouldn't be in this position.
And in his manifesto, he starts by contextualizing himself by saying, I am a citizen of the United States of America. And while we may have big problems with illegal immigration in this country, I have to tell you, we have an even bigger problem when it comes to the systemic indoctrination and radicalization of our own citizens. This is what got my husband killed.
I'll agree with that. The constant demonizing of the right, it played a huge part in it, for sure. And it played a huge part in what happened at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. So even though she comes across weird and is dressed like a psychopath, he's right about that.
What has led to 3 legitimate attempts on President Trump's life. And I can speak firsthand to that unbearable toll that this must take on our First Lady. There has never been a president who has faced this many assassination attempts in Americans' entire history. And after each one, the reaction from the far left has been, at best, a shrug, and in some cases, a sick disappointment that the shooter was unsuccessful.
They're also getting into the conspiracies, too, because the left doesn't believe Butler. They think it was a staged event. They don't believe this one. They think it was a staged event. So it's kind of cope in a way. Like, they don't want to admit that their rhetoric and they really do. A lot of them won't admit it publicly because they're smart enough not to, but they'd like to see the president get whacked. They'd like that. But yeah, it's all a game. all a Machiavellian game.
You're all human beings. And if you can just pause. And just take a minute and ask yourself, how would you feel if even just one person made cruel jokes about the attempted murder of your loved one? That is what Jimmy Kimmel did to the First Lady. He said that she had the glow of an expected widow. The glow of an expected widow. Just 48 hours before that nightmare almost became a reality.
Those are jokes, Erika. You know, I hate Jimmy Kimmel. I think he's not very funny, but that's what you call a joke, okay? Are we allowed to make jokes? What's the line on the jokes now? Oh, the joke is you can't make fun of the wife's president. No, they're jokes. Everybody's open for them. Open season on everybody and everything, okay?
In this culture we're living in, absorbs disagreement as a form of personal betrayal. It turns having an opposing viewpoint into a moral crime worthy of punishment. And here's what I've realized through all of this, truly, having lived through quite literal hell these past 7 months, if you strip someone of their humanity long enough, you will arrive at the chilling conclusion that they don't deserve to exist at all. Every morning I wake up to a new headline lying about me. I have comedians dressing up in whiteface.
You're going to use that one. Look, I think there are legitimate grievances against Candace Owens and a lot of the online personalities who are just making their living off of pushing conspiracies that she killed her husband or she had something to do with the conspiracy. Sue them. Sue the fuck out of them. That's what you need to do. Just sue the fuck out of them. But what the fuck? Because that one comedian did a bit where he was making fun of you in whiteface. Like, who gives a fuck? It's stupid when you're complaining about comedy, Erika. Okay? That's dumb.
I have people saying I'm not fit to be CEO, and I have Candace Owens claiming I murdered my husband.
Sue her.
And the list goes on and on and on.
Then sue her.
There is a serious epidemic of dehumanization plaguing this country. The most unthinkable tragedies have now become commonplace in our daily headlines, and yet the media finds a way to conveniently explain away violence. This is what we're up against. This is what we're up against. What is happening right now is something none of us can afford to ignore. The evil forces working to divide us, to distract us, and to pull us apart has never been stronger. This is a moment for Americans to come together and decide what kind of country we are going to be before we lose our country altogether.
I got another idea if you want people to start liking you. Number one, get hotter, okay? Dress hotter. Don't dress like a slut, just sexier, hotter. Like, can we bring back sundresses? I fucking love sundresses, dude. What happened to sundresses? Just little floaty sundresses. I love those things, man. Come on, bring those back. Sundress would be perfect. Number two, come out against the Iran war. This is because she's sounding like a lot of the fucking Mark Levins where it's like, oh, the fucking the woke Reich. You know, they're dividing the movement and blah blah blah. It's like, no, you guys fucking betrayed the movement. So yeah, I'd come out against the Iran war. Start dressing like a feminist, like a non-feminist old classic. Just look better. Don't whatever you're wearing now, just throw it away, okay? And people will start liking you. That's my two suggestions.
In Romans chapter 12, verse 21, it says, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." And this is why my husband created Turning Point USA, so we could have civil discourse and debate and open dialogue, because when we stop talking to each other, bad things happen.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one that misses sundresses. Like, ladies, they gotta be comfortable as fuck. It's just a little nice fabric. It's like, it's easy. Just throw it on. And you look like a classy fucking woman, and I don't know. Can we please bring back sundresses? Can that be the next thing that women start doing? Let's bring back sundresses, make them great again.
Choosing to fight for America, for my children.
Whatever this is, no, okay? Throw it in the fucking whoever advised you to dress like this, just never listen to them again.
For your children and for our humanity. Because we all need to do our part. And by the grace of God, we will succeed, and America will remain what she was always called to be, a shining city on a hill, a light to the world. So let me give you a perfect example of how it's done. My husband did it best and left us the blueprint on how to have uncomfortable conversations with those who disagree.
Yeah, somebody said Charlie Kirk was just debating college kids wasn't really changing the world, to be honest. Well, politically, it was very effective. Because if you remember, the right was, universities are basically left-wing indoctrination centers, okay? If you're a leftist and you deny that, like, you're denying reality, okay? So the youth, the upcoming new voters who are in their 20s or whatever, he was able to reach them in a way that the right was never able to reach them before. So he did make a big dent in getting more of the youth to become, more to the right. So I would say he definitely had it seems stupid, right? He's just debating college kids, but no, he's bringing a different viewpoint to people who would never hear that viewpoint because they're all fucking locked into this left-wing bubble.
Buckle up, everybody. Here we go.
That was cringe and weird. That was weird and cringe. So yeah, she finally responded. I think she needs to sue. Okay. If, you didn't kill your husband and people are accusing you of killing your husband. And there's even texts of Candace. It's pretty clear what Candace is insinuating and a lot of these people are insinuating. So fucking sue them. What are you afraid of? Do you got something to hide? Is there something to hide there? Maybe that's what, I don't know. Maybe discovery is scary for you. I don't know. But you should definitely sue them. And then people will take you more seriously. What else we got here, boys? Yeah, so I think this is her new boyfriend. That's what people are saying. Once you go black, you never go back, and then you start dressing like this.
When I walked into that room.
This is what happens when you start hooking up with black dudes. You start dressing like that. God bless her. God bless her. There's some on the Iran war. Breaking. The President Trump has rejected, which I advise the president he should accept this deal. Because why wouldn't you accept a deal to open the Strait of Hormuz and get that fucking bullshit out of the way, which is a real problem for us and the entire world. And we get that back open, and then you can negotiate all the other deals. At least we got that. And that could be, you could spin that to be a win. Ooh, Trump's beautiful fucking 5D chess finally got but no, apparently he's turning that down, and there's plans now to start bombing Iran again, is what everybody's, I think Axios reported that Trump's planning on just doing another round of bombing to get them to be more willing to give in, because we won't make a deal unless nuclear is on the table. Well, no, you can make one deal at a fucking time and just get the Strait of Hormuz open. And then the next thing y'all can negotiate on is the nuclear bullshit. And you know how I feel about that. That to me is it's just an excuse to go to war. It's like, who cares, dude? I know people get so mad when I say it, but it's like, I don't fucking care, dude. We got nukes. Let everybody else have them. If you have a country, you want nukes, to me, that should be your right in self-defense. Because it just creates a power imbalance where countries that have nukes like us can just bully all these fucking non-nuclear countries. But yeah, I know it's very unpopular. People don't think, they don't use their head and use common sense when they think about that. So yeah. And the U.S. has prepared a plan for a short and powerful wave of strikes. So that doesn't sound good. Trump says he will keep Iran under a naval blockade until they agree to a nuclear deal. After the strikes, which would likely include infrastructure targets, the U.S. would press Iran to negotiate again. Trump sees continuing the blockade as his primary source of leverage. Trump says Iran's oil storage and pipelines are getting close to exploding because Iran can't export oil due to the blockade. I don't know. They've been storing a shitload of oil, and I don't know if they're running out of storage space. Some people are saying they are running out of storage space, but that could be a problem for them long term, which might be why they're willing to reopen the strait and we could have that victory. But no, because it doesn't seem like you guys actually want peace. Seems like you actually want the full regime change in Iran. You want what Israel wants. So yeah, I think it's dumb, man. I think he should definitely agree just to get the straight open, dude. Because I mean, it's already gonna get ugly here with food prices, cost of energy, and if we could just get it open now, it would be just a momentary blip, knowing that things are gonna come back to full capacity. But if it just continues to stay closed, like that's good. I mean, we could see a global depression. It could be really, really bad. Trump's numbers on inflation aren't just the worst for him ever. They're the worst I've seen for any president. They're worse than Biden's worst and worse than Carter's pre-1980 election. Wow. If it's worse than Carter, that's bad because that destroyed Carter's legacy, basically. That's what he's remembered as. Just the inflation president. But yeah, let's see. Numbers are not looking good.
Yeah, it is the number one issue. The number one issue. It's the number one financial issue. It's the number one issue folks saying it's facing their families right now. And Donald John Trump is in the worst position he has ever been on inflation. And more than that, these are the worst numbers I've ever seen for any president. I mean, just look at this. Look at this. According to Ipsos, look at this net approval rating on inflation. We got the latest poll out. He's 49 points underwater. That means that 49% more of the public disapprove than approve of the job he's doing. I went back. You remember Joe Biden? Inflation absolutely crushed his presidency. But at his worst, according to Ipsos, he was just 43 points underwater. So Trump is lower now on inflation.
Whether you want to admit it or not, a lot of our inflation problems that were problems under Biden's term were all because of COVID. And people say, well, it's not Trump's fault. It's the states and the world lockdown. We could only do. It kind of is because he didn't fight hard enough against it to me. Because even the first 2 weeks to slow the spread was a fucking problem. And even right when that was happening, I was saying, we can't do that. We can't just shut down production and expect it's just going to pick right up. Like shit like this took forever to get to where it's at. And it's going to take a long time to recover if we just shut everything down. And it should be our fucking right. It should be a God-given right for us to go to work and do live our lives and not be just locked down and told we can't work and told we can't go visit grandma and told our kids can't go to school and they can't go to the park and play baseball. It's such a fucking disastrous time. And that happened under Trump. Now, was Biden terrible? Yeah, Biden was terrible, but did he start a war that made it worse? No. So I think that's why it's worse for Trump, because Trump actively started a war knowing that this would make everything worse for the things that the American people actually voted for him to address. So it's like he willingly said, fuck you. I care more about Netanyahu and what he wants than what my actual voters want. So he deserves this fall off.
Inflation than Joe Biden ever was, according to Ipsos. And I will note that the inflation rate right now is only about a third as it was back in June of 2022. Yet Trump's numbers are significantly worse than Biden's ever were.
Even though inflation was like at 9% this month, they still think Trump is doing a worse job on it than Biden ever was.
Correct.
Dojadala 41 super chatted $10. I think Iran is stacking up on Russian hypersonic weapons while Trump thinks he's blockading it. That is just my opinion.
Well, I've also heard reports that, yeah, they've been, I don't know if they're getting hypersonic weapons from Russia. That's possible. But they are restocking their missile supply during this break. And if we start hitting their infrastructure, like, there's so much more they could do that they didn't. Like, they could do way more damage to the Gulf states and their oil production. And we could see just, I mean, dude, imagine if not just the straits closed, but all of a sudden we're losing tons of production because they're blowing up these oil facilities. It's just it's such a dumb game of chicken. It's such a dumb risk. It's such a dumb gamble. It's like, what do we get out of it? Oh, well, you don't get to get nuked by Iran. That's what it's like. Shut up with that bullshit fucking argument. Iran was never going to nuke us, you fucking loser. But that, I mean, what is it really? What is it really that we're going to gain from this? Like, if you're going to do a gamble like this, you're going to gamble with all of our lives. There should at least be some sort of reward if we win that gamble. But there's not. They'll lie to you and tell you there is. The reward's not for us, that's for sure. Somebody will be rewarded, but it won't be average Americans like me and you.
Okay, so
we'll
when you
get
think of
fucked in the ass.
The one that comes to mind is Jimmy Carter. That was when inflation
Thank you for the super chat, brother.
really stratospheric.
Doge, thank you.
So how does Trump compare to Carter on those numbers?
Yeah, these are really stunning numbers right here. But what about James Earl Carter, right? You think of inflation, as Johnny B was talking about. You think about inflation-seeking presidencies. You think of Jimmy Carter. But just look here. Okay, if we look right now we're talking about net approvals on inflation, this number should actually be 46%, minus 46. And if you look at this, though, even if I raise it a little bit and I correct my error right here live on air, we're talking about minus 46 points versus minus 49 points.
That's crazy, because that's all Carter was remembered for, was fucking up the economy with inflation. That's Trump's legacy now. And he did it to himself. His legacy could have been, oh, the guy that actually helped us to stop getting robbed by the government with taxes every year. Nope, not that guy. Oh, the guy that ensured freedom of speech on the internet and brought up a whole new world where internet freedom was at an all-time high. Nope, didn't do that. He did lock down the border. Okay, we'll give him that. He locked down the border. Didn't get mass deportations, though. Very little deportations. But, okay, look, we'll give him a victory on that one. But that's not going to be your legacy. Your legacy is going to be like Jimmy Carter. Congratulations.
Donald Trump is in worse position on inflation than Jimmy Carter was when, of course, Carter then got blown out by Ronald Reagan back in 1980.
So where do Americans think this is headed in terms of the cost of living?
Yeah, okay, so you see these bad numbers, and take a look here. Look at this. On cost of living, country is on the wrong track or right track. Look at this. Among independents, 75%. 75% say the wrong track, just 9% say the right track. Look among Republicans. The plurality of Republicans say that the country is on the wrong track when it comes to the cost of living versus just 39%, 45 versus 39.
No, that's just all the woke Reich. That's all the podcasters. It's not the people. It's the pod. Yeah, dude. This is fucking. But what happened? These are the same people that were saying that MAGA was 100% behind the Iran war. I think that fucking poll was to gaslight Trump into making mistakes. It was like, oh, you know, because don't forget, CNN they want Democrats to win. So they knew Trump doing this was going to be the mistake that was going to open the door for them to come back and really fucking look like good guys again, being anti-war again. So they just, I don't know. I just don't believe that 100% poll. I think there's some shenanigans there.
Donald Trump has lost every single part of this electorate. And when you take his name out of the equation, you see even the plurality of Republicans say that the country is on the wrong track when it comes to
I don't know which one of these is more surprising. They both are stunning. One is that Republicans think the country's on the wrong track economically.
Unbelievable.
I'm not surprised.
75-9 is just a mind-blowing number.
We've been saying this forever, and then everybody attacks us. We've been saying you're destroying the coalition, destroyed, independence gone. A lot of the Republicans who became Republicans because of Trump, gone. You just got the old school neocons back who can't win elections because nobody fucking likes them. Their whole fucking voter base is dying off. And we told you this was going to happen, but it's all our fault. It's all our fault because we said, hey, this is a fucking disaster. Why are you doing this? It's our fault. It's Alex Jones' fault. It's everybody who didn't just say, yes, sir, Mr. Trump, give me your dick. Oh, whatever you want to do, Mr. Trump. No. It's our fault.
It's mind-blowing. You just never see numbers like that.
All right, so what do the prediction markets say on an issue that you and I care deeply about?
Yeah.
Beef prices.
Beef prices. We're heading into summer. Just take a look here. Chance that April 2026 versus 2025, the beef prices are 15% higher. According to the Kalshi prediction market, 75% people are feeling the pain across different issues, including beef prices, as well as at the gas tank.
All right, Harold.
Gotta get them pork chops, boys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, my friend. Yeah, it sucks how expensive beef is, man. Gotta get those pork chops. Gotta get those pork chops.
At Leroy.45 long super chatted $5. All Trump accomplished is keeping Nettie out of the pen by keeping his war going. He is owned at this point.
It seems like it, dude. It seems like he cares more about Israel than he does about American citizens, which is unfortunate. Because we thought we were going to get a real fighter. A real America First type who's going to fight for the actual people, like the salt of the earth, average American, and not the fucking foreign lobbies and the billionaires. And yeah, that's so sad and unfortunate. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the $5, Leroy. This is pretty fucking hilarious, to be honest. And it's pretty cruel of Trump to do this. This is some shit I do to people for jokes. Like, I'll pick somebody apart, you know, old school, you know, red bar style. Just be like, oh, look at his face and look at, I mean, it's fun. It's fun. It's funny. It's not meant to be too serious. I'm doing it to have fun. And he's doing it to one of his staff members here who's got big ears.
Considering relocating NASA's headquarters out of D.C. once the lease is up, states like Texas, Ohio, and Florida.
Well, the best man to tell you that is the man standing right over here. You heard that question? With those beautiful ears of yours? He's got great hearing, you know, he's got super hearing.
Trick of the trade, sir.
That's kind of cruel when I mean, look, it's funny if you're doing it on a podcast. Like, that's something I do in a but the president doing it to one of his staff members at the Oval Office in the middle of a press conference, that's just kind of cruel. Look at him. You could see the smile, but the eyes reveal the real heartbreak. Here's like, okay, I got to make a smile. Okay, I'm on camera, but the eyes reveal the sadness of the soul. And my God, are those ears something else, dude? I've been noticing. I think there's something going on in the water. Everybody's ears are getting bigger. People's ears are getting gigantic. I don't know if we're evolving, some sort of evolutionary fucking trait that we're evolving, or something's in the water, but people's ears are getting so fucking big, dude. But yeah, that's still kind of mean when you're the president doing that. Poor guy. That's sad. New footage of Nick. Remember the lady who came to Nick's door when he got doxxed and he like maced her and kicked her down the stairs? Or shoved her down the stairs. New footage, high quality footage of it is now out, and it's. Look, I understand why somebody would react this way, but I think Nick has the right to react this way. But what if it was just an Uber driver who was at the wrong fucking door? I mean, he's lucky it was actually like a weirdo trying to, like, you know. But what if it was just an Uber driver at the wrong door? Like, how did he know that this was a crazy stalker woman? And to be honest, maybe I'm too nice of a guy, but if I opened the door and I saw an old lady like this, she's like, "Oh, hi," I'd be like, "Yeah, get off my property," and just close the door. I don't know. This just seems a little bit like an overreaction, but it's still hilarious.
Hi. Oh my God! What are you doing?
Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, the part for me is it's okay, whatever. It's a lady. It's an older lady. And it's like, you just can't shove an older lady like that just because she knocked on your door. I know a lot of people are like, oh, W, Nick. Oh, I don't blame him at all. But it's like, I don't know, it just seems fucking a little bit of an overreaction. Let's watch it again.
Hi.
See, right there when she goes, hi, I don't think I could have just resorted straight to violence. I don't think I have it in my heart. I would be like, please get off my property. If you stay here, I'm going to call the cops. And then I close the door. I'd probably say it through the door. I probably wouldn't even open the door. I'd be like, get off my property. I'm calling the cops.
41 super chatted $10. What a tough guy.
What a tough guy. Yeah. I mean, it's the thing. It's like, if it was a dude, I'd probably have a little, but then if it's a dude, you have to risk that he's going to actually fight you back. But if it's an old lady and you just shove her, like, maybe I'm old school and I just don't like it when I see an old lady shoved to the ground. Even if she's a crazy, deranged fucking leftist, it still seems improper. Something about it just doesn't seem right. But is it funny? Yes, it's funny.
Oh my God! What are you doing?
Oh, but she fell pretty hard too. And she could have literally like really hurt herself.
Get the fuck out of here.
Did you catch that?
Yeah, just don't go to people's houses, you know? That's another thing. Like, it is dumb what she fucking did. But again, like, it seems like it's an overreaction when it's an old lady, dude. All you got to do is just close the door, I mean, just through the door or whatever, or you got your fucking Ring doorbell thing you can talk through and be like, get off the property or I'm calling the police. Okay, you have 1 minute to get off the property or I'm calling the police. Simple as that. And that's it. I mean, it's not like you have to let them inside. Like, it's one thing if they're breaking into your house. It's another thing if they're knocking on your fucking front door, right? If she's breaking into your house, then, fill her up with lead. That seems like I don't know. It seems a little cruel, man. Seems a little cruel. I'm hearing this, that they got this new thing now where when you go grocery shopping, the price that's listed, they're going to actually have a camera on the price that's listed. And as you walk by, it will scan your face and then do a deep search on the internet to find out how much you're worth and if you're well off or not. And it will adjust the prices based on how rich you are, essentially. So if you're poor, like, it'll give you a good deal. And if you're rich, it's like you're paying top of the line price. That's crazy if it's true. But this lady says this is true. Let's see.
This is really freaking me out. I'm in my grocery store and my girlfriend just told me about this conspiracy theory and it's happening in my grocery store right now. I'm gonna show you like regular price tags. Okay, look. Paper, regular price tags. This is how much everything is. And then you come over here and look at these ones. That's a camera right there.
Is that a digital price tag? Because that's the thing. Like, when it's digital, you can just, from 1 second to the next, change the price. Just be like, and then you can have an algorithm. I mean, that does sound like something they do if they think they could increase their profit, to where it's like you have an algorithm that can track instantly who the fuck is shopping, find out if they're wealthy or not. If they're wealthy, top of the line price. If they're poor, you give them a good price because at least they can, you make a sell. But the thing is though, like, how would it be that quick though? Because you'd see the price go up because it couldn't be that quick. Unless they scan you as you walk into the store and they know as soon as you walk in that you're rich and then they change the prices ahead of you getting there. Otherwise you'd see the price go up as you're there. I don't know. It seems like that'd be really hard to pull off in practice.
So they're replacing.
Yeah. So don't want to listen to the music in the background because, then I have to go edit it out later because of 5 seconds of a fucking Michael Jackson song played very quietly in the background. I hate the copyright system, bro. YouTube is demonetizing people like crazy lately too. That's got me on edge because it's like, dude, when are they going to demonetize me? I have a feeling it's just a matter of time before I get that email. So we might have to be moving. I mean, I could still do the show. I just will have to move everything off platform when it comes to the support, the ways to support. But yeah, I didn't want to put off a show tonight. I didn't have a lot to talk about tonight. That was about it. That's what we got. So we'll hang out for a little longer. We'll chat. And yeah, going to be a bit of a shorter show tonight. How's everybody in the chat doing? Shit is hitting the wall. Fuck. The world is going to be unrecognizable in 10 years. Okay. It's already drastically changed from when I was a child. The 90s, like you compare living in 1995 to living in 2005, two totally different worlds. You compare that to 2026. Now with the rise of AI, I mean, that AI is opening some really creepy doors, dude. First of all, it creeps me the fuck out that companies are firing people and replacing them with AI like YouTube is, to where some fucking computer algorithm is deciding whether you get to make a living, whether you get to be successful or not, whether you broke the law, whether you broke a policy decision, and it's some fucking robot deciding who fucks up all the fucking time. And then the excuse is like, yeah, but we have humans who are the second line to double check everything. It's like, it really doesn't seem like you do. And what would be the point if you're trying to save money of getting rid of all the AI? getting rid of all the humans, but yet you need to keep the humans to double check that. No, of course you're going to be greedy and you're going to get rid of the humans and you're just going to rely on the AI and you're going to go, well, it's going to make mistakes, but in the long run, it's worth it because we save so much fucking money and there's just a few. It's like, okay, the people that get fucked just get fucked though, right? The people who just, get their built a whole platform on here, spent years upon years building an audience and they just get fucked overnight because some algorithm made a mistake and no humans there to fix it. That's the world we're going into. And it's not just going to be YouTube. It's going to be everything. It's going to be the government. I mean, hell, this war in Iran might be the first war that the AI is running the damn war. I wouldn't be surprised, dude, if all these government officials are just like, well, what do I do? Here's the situation I'm in. Give me options. And then, and it can be helpful in that way, but I think the problem is people are going to lean too much on the AI. Rather than using the AI as like a search engine to just source data so that you can make an informed decision, they're going to let the AI just make the decisions for them, and then we're fucked. I think that's coming.
41 super chatted $10. I have a bachelor's in software engineering. Yeah, AI is a problem for a lot of us people.
It's sad, man, because we had so much of our jobs stolen from us. You used to work in used to have all these factory jobs. You can go work in the steel mill, you could work making cars. There was tons of great jobs, building shit with your hands, all that taken from us, sent overseas. What was left? Oh, well, you can drive people around. You can be a cashier. You can serve people. And I'm talking about for the regular people, right? Not that, there's a lot of regular people that they don't have a degree. They just need a job. Okay. And they're not like a computer scientist or whatever. They're just a fucking dude who's going to local businesses looking for a job. And now you can't even get those because those are going to get replaced by AI. You got self-checkout lines. Don't even need your cashier. Goodbye. Have fun. Go rot away. Broken, homeless. We got self-checkout now. And yeah, you can't even get those jobs anymore. Because soon all the fucking, think about it, all the Uber Eats and all that shit, that's going to be replaced soon. Uber, driving people, it's TikTok, that job's going away. It's just a matter of time before these cars are driving themselves. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but people need jobs. What are fucking people going to do? Elon keeps telling us we don't got to worry about it. There's going to be so much, it's like unlimited fucking resources because of AI. And it's I don't really believe you, dude. And what do we do in the meantime with the transition? We just starve to death? We try not to starve to death before Congress passes some sort of universal income so we don't starve to death? And do we trust the government to actually look after our interests and make sure we're taken care of and not just be well, we don't need people anymore so they can go away? Sure would be a lot easier to take care of this country without all these hungry people. I don't trust the government to take care of it. I think the government will just leave us fucked like it's always done. I don't know, man. It is a scary future we're going into. I think the internet changed the world, but nothing like what this AI shit's going to do. Because the internet made the world better in so many ways, especially at the beginning, before it became so controlled and censored. It was, early 2000s. The internet was fucking amazing. It was better than what we have now in many ways because it was more free and open and less controlled by a handful of companies where everybody goes to Facebook, Google, it was people went to websites and went to forums and there was so many fucking websites. And now what's the incentive to even build a website and provide information to people when the AI is just going to steal it? Some people go into Google, I want to know about mufflers. Tell me about this muffler. Well, this guy who built this site, who's an expert in mufflers, who everybody used to go to his site to learn about mufflers, and then he'd get some ad revenue. The AI, Google AI, is just going to steal everything off his website. And then the little AI prompt is going to give you all the information. You don't even need to go to the website. And that's not a problem. That's not illegal as well. It's going to get really fucking weird, man. And we need, at this time, more than ever, we need a government that actually is looking after the people. And I don't know if we can get that. It seems like a real difficult thing to get. Because everybody that gets put up in a position where they can fucking get into a position of power, they're placed there by lobbyists, etc. It's like, it's just not a natural fucking thing anymore. I don't know. Alex Jones 2028. We'll see what happens. How's everybody doing in the chat? Thank you guys for the support. It was off the charts today. Ton of fucking members and super chats. Thank you guys.
Dojadilla 41 super chatted $10. Elon told us that his electric cars are way better than regular cars, but we do not have the infrastructure for them. So people end up hating their life after buying Teslas.
Is that true? Because I know a lot of people that love their Teslas, man. You know, like, I don't have a lot of experience with Teslas. My friend Jimmy has a Tesla. You guys know Jimmy. He's helped me do a few of the podcasts. A producer for me when I'm doing like in-person interviews and stuff. And we drove his. He drove his Tesla. We went to Houston to do an interview, to do a podcast, and it was fucking sweet. The car drove us there. We had to make one stop halfway there to get some electricity or whatever. There was some hotel that we just stopped at, and 10, 15 minutes, whatever it was, we got the juice we needed to make it the rest of the way. And there's something nice about a car that drives you, dude. It's like, I mean, driving can be fun, but when you're having to do it all the time, it's like, yeah, it would be nice if I could get some other work done on the road. It would be nice if the car drove me there and I could use that as a fucking break to just, you know, watch a movie or fucking whatever, you know. That would be nice. I'd like that. I'd like to get a Tesla. I think the infrastructure's getting there. You might be right, but I think it's getting better for electric cars. And it's just going to keep getting better because they're not going anywhere. You know? And the cost of... I mean, this might be why Elon's not saying shit about the Iran war, because, yeah, blow up the entire oil industry. That's going to be good for Elon. You know, the higher fucking gas costs, the more people are going to want to buy an electric car. So yeah, thank you for the 10, Doge. Shout out to all the surveillance vehicle drivers. What's up, Energetic Giraffe? What's up, buddy? Shout out to the CIA, all the lists I'm likely on. Oof, good luck with that, but we're all on lists, bro. Shout out to my FBI agent. Oh, Doge with damn Doge.
41 super chatted $100. You gotta have a home charger. If you don't, your life will turn into a nightmare real quick. Also, long drives in an EV are way more expensive than in a regular car.
Are they? Yeah, I don't have that much experience with it, so I'll take your word for it, Doge. Thank you for the $100, dude. Jesus Christ, Doge. Thank you. Very generous, brother. I guess Doge must have gone up today, huh? Is Doge killing it? The meme coin? I've seen like people even in apartments that they run a line out from their apartment to their car. And I was like, oh, even... So, I mean, essentially, you just need to run a line, right? From your any power source, you just run a line. I don't even think that was... I think the one apartment I saw somebody doing that, I don't even think it was a Tesla. It was a different kind of electric car. But yeah, I think all that shit will get better. You know, there's gonna need to be a transition to that. Charging prices have gone up too, have they? MMA KO TV, you got a Tesla, right? See, MMA KO had, I know you told me your car broke down and you got a Tesla. How have you been liking the Tesla, MMA KO TV? Give me a grade 1 out of 10. Is it a 10 or is it a 1? But yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of people that are happy with their Teslas. What's up, John? How you doing, buddy? My birthday is May 12th, guys. Okay, let's remember May 12th. We'll do a special show and shout out John for his birthday. Old senile people are going to end up driving 300 miles in the wrong direction because of self-driving cars. It might make it easier though, right? Because if you can just say like, you know, because I think they have Grok in there, right? You can be like, Grok, take me home. And it will take you home. A lot of times, like, they get lost and they don't know how to drive themselves back home because they're lost. And they're having a moment of just pure confusion. And if they can just simply say to the car, take me home, that might actually be better. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, older people who lose the ability to drive, technically they would be able to still be mobile. I mean, the other theory that I've heard passed around is that once Tesla has their robot taxis going, eventually it's going to become so cheap that like everybody's going to be able to get a Tesla taxi for like, and it's going to cost like nothing to go everywhere because they're going to be so cheap. Because you don't have to pay for the driver. All you're paying is like the per mile cost. And then that's going to become a business of owning those robot cars. And you could have like 30 cars working for you. I mean, that might be an investment, to be honest, right now. If you're looking for investments, getting into the robo-taxi, finding a way to invest in that, that would probably be a smart investment at this time. You know, I don't know. I would think so. I would think that would be a smart investment. Once again, thank you for the $100, dude. I need like a fucking celebrations and shit. I need to get some of those party things and just be like, boom, blow them up and shit. I got to figure out some more celebrations for large super chats like that because that's insane. Thank you, dude. Got 300 last episode. That was insane. $300 super chat. Jesus, dude. You guys are going crazy. Thank you so much. I don't like the idea of the large, expensive batteries, old, simple cars for the win. Yeah, I mean, I think there's still going to be a market for old, you know, gas-powered cars because people will want the retro feel. But I do think it's inevitable that electric cars are going to take over. Self-driving cars are going to take over. And I'll be honest, I'm sorry if you have a job where you drive, but people are going to love not having to drive and just get in their car and be like, take me to McDonald's. And then they're on their phone. Of course, people are going to love that. They need a geofencing feature for elderly people. I'm sure, yeah, you just got to design an extra little feature where it's like, yes, this driver is elderly and has memory issues, so keep that in mind. Carburetor master race? Is that because I brought up carburetors earlier? Was it carburetors? Mufflers, I think I brought up. I don't know. Self-driving sounds worth it at $100 per month, especially if you do a lot of driving. Yeah. I mean, fuck. I can get full. Yeah. Did you give me a grade on your Tesla MMA, KO? Did I miss that? Model Y Cyber Twitch. I don't have full self-driving. Got to use 2020 for 25K. Yeah, I've heard they're pretty. That's the one I was in too. It was like one of the cheaper models that Jimmy got pretty cheap. It's amazing. 10 of 10. Okay, so that's a Tesla driver, MMA OKO TV, and he does drive for a living, I believe. I don't know if I'm blowing up your spot, but you do use that car to make a living, and he gives it a 10 of a 10. So that's got to be a big game changer if you're doing like any kind of driving for work, and you can just let the car drive for you. But you said you don't have full self-driving, right? The Tesla will suck you off for $200 a month. Dude, wouldn't that be crazy if somebody designed like some sort of device so that the car itself could give you a blowjob while you're driving it? I wonder if that would become popular. Just some little suction device that you just pull out, flop it on your dick as you're driving, and you just sucks you right off, dude. Somebody's working on that invention right now. Your mom doesn't want you to drive? That's okay, zombies. Listen to your mom. She knows what's up.
At Leroy
Sounds like a good
45
lady.
long super chatted $5. You are keeping it real and deserve every penny you make off of this lame-ass platform for your bravery alone, brother. Saluting face.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, you know, I don't make a ton, but it is crazy how much more I can make off of so few views doing live streams. Like last episode, you know, and they're not all huge episodes. Sometimes I do an episode and I'll make like $60, right? Like and sometimes I'll make less than that, and that's cool.
Doge 41 became a member.
Oh, welcome, Doge. We should have got you a free one, brother. Thank you, Doge. But yeah, like the last video I did that did okay was like I got like 60,000 views, and that was like barely 100 something bucks. And then like I can do that easy on a live stream with like 2,000 views. So it's crazy. It's crazy. And then people go, why do you do live streams? It's like, well, because I can actually make a living doing live streams. Plus, I think I have shit to offer. Some people get mad and think I'm an idiot because I have different opinions in them. It gets a little annoying. People are like, oh, Pink Trip doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And it's like, because we have a different opinion. Because I don't fucking just jump on, oh, it's all fake. Oh, this White House Correspondents' Dinner, oh, clearly it's fake, and you're an idiot if you don't realize it's fake. I'm like, maybe you're insane if you just think you know all the answers to everything when even I admit I don't. Yes, it could have been faked. Do I know that for sure? No. Does it seem a little out of the realm of possibility and stupid to go that far just to get a ballroom built? Because that's the theory. It was faked so that he can get this ballroom rammed through. And it's like, I don't know. That seems a little weird. And then you have to convince, like, it's just, I don't know. Not everything is a conspiracy. And the problem is with the people who think everything's a conspiracy is that a lot of things are conspiracies. But when you claim everything is a conspiracy, you make it hard to believe when there is a real conspiracy there, right? Because people are like, oh, everything's a conspiracy. You think everything's a conspiracy. So you lose credibility when you think everything is a conspiracy. FYI. In case you didn't know. Anyway, maybe you don't think it's fake, but do you think it's gay? Definitely gay. There's nothing wrong with it, by the way. Here on YouTube, the Pink Trip community, we support the gays. We love them. But yeah, I don't think it's fake. But that's my opinion. Like, do I know? No. Do you know? No. We all have our hunches and opinions on shit, dude. Release the ping files. Ooh, I don't know. We got to keep those. We got to keep those buried, bro. Can't let those out. Nah, I ain't got shit to hide. You can release the files on me, bro. Nothing to hide. The only time I ever got arrested was for weed, which I've talked about. I was framed. I was completely framed. So one problem with small town Texas. Some of these little police departments in these small towns are corrupt as fuck. So yeah, I do think I was framed. Fake or not, it will still help the right at the midterms. I don't think it will. Zaboski. Maybe under a normal circumstance where they didn't go full neocon and completely betray their entire base, it's not going to bring people back like me and so many others who feel betrayed. We're not going to be like all of a sudden we're just die hard, willing to go vote for the midterms. What would bring us back is the left going completely fucking crazy and scaring us to death. So if the left was like crazy enough and scary enough that we would just vote out of fear, maybe that would bring some people back. But I don't think a lot of people are coming back. They're betrayed. This No New Wars thing was a big deal to them. It wasn't just a talking point. It was a big fucking deal. And when you go full neocon, you're going to lose all those people like me who despise neocons and despise the warmongering and think that this shit is terrible for our country and a big part of why we're suffering so much as a country. And we're just going to continue doing it when we voted against it? No, thank you. Who's next? Bring on the next one. Bring on the next candidate. Because I'm done with this one. What does Candace think happened? With what? Oh, yeah. Well, she hasn't talked about it. I think has she talked about it yet? Obviously, she's going to believe it's fake. I don't think Candace is going to be able to come on and be like, oh, I think I don't think it was fake. I think it was real. Like, her audience are going to be upset. She's got to have a conspiracy angle for it to please her audience. Because even Alex's audience gets upset when he doesn't think something's a conspiracy. They're like, how could you not think it's a conspiracy? Blah, blah, blah. You must be a shill or you're fucking double agent or whatever. And it's like, some things aren't conspiracies, guys. There are crazy fucking leftists who want to assassinate Trump and anybody from MAGA. It's not always a conspiracy. Candace thinks everyone is a time traveler. Yeah. I mean, look, God bless Candace for being on the right side of being against the war. Okay. I'll give her credit for that. But when it comes to the Charlie Kirk shit, there was just so much nonsense she was spitting out there. And it kind of made a lot of regular people who were maybe suspicious that there was some wider plot, that it wasn't just this kid, that maybe he was connected to some other group that led him to do this. They kind of just stopped listening because it got so fucking crazy with the Egyptian planes and all this. I mean, they like to forget about the Egyptian planes. The maroon t-shirts. Maroon is a military color. Okay. So is blue. So is green. So is orange. So is red. Every color is a fucking military color. What are we talking about here? The betrayals are a real punch in the gut. Exactly, plural blue. It's hard because like you don't see Trump the same anymore. Like it's one thing to fail to get something done because he gets blocked. I still think he needs to go all the way because there are tools that the president can use that are fucking drastic and hardcore. But I think we're at a position where things are so bad. The American people have lost representation and we are slipping into some weird perverted version of what this country is supposed to be. To me, we're at a point where we should be able to take drastic fucking measures to fix the situation. If you can't fix it through the normal business routes. But it'll be unpopular. It'll be this or that. Yeah, it'll only be unpopular if you're not doing it on behalf of the American people. If you do it for the American people and they know you're bringing them relief and making their life better, the American people will fucking love it. I think the American people would love it if you got rid of income taxes. All of a sudden, they were getting all of their money. I don't think the American people are going to be upset about that. However you fucking do it, just do it. But you can't do it because the Congress got to pass. Oh, really? I'm sure there are ways to do it, but yeah, the media would go crazy, but the media is going to go crazy anyway. The media goes crazy about everything. Anyway, guys, been fun. Been a good show. Thank you for showing up. I'll try my best to be back tomorrow, but can't guarantee it. I'm going to try to do at least 4 shows this week. I tried to do 4. I only got 3 off last week, but I'm going to try to do 4 at least, if not more. Trying to ramp it back up, but it's difficult because a lot of my time is going towards taking care of my father right now and trying to figure out some shit to get done to get him more help because it's a little overwhelming just me doing it. So, but yeah, we'll try to do as many as possible this week. Much love, everybody. Thank you for the support. Again, off the charts, guys, like insane levels of support today. Thank you so much. Links are in the description. Go follow the Discord, my second channel. Smash the thumbs up. Almost at 100. 9 more to 100. That's very much appreciated. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Ping Trip Show. Thank you, guys. Much love. Have a wonderful night. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Take care.
Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Here's some other videos to watch that you might like or you might not. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified. Have a great day, my internet friend. I hope I'll see you once again. Please subscribe and hit the like and ring that bell if you want notified.